Hello there. Welcome to another INFJ Ramble. Tonight is going to be really random. I just got home and I was just kind of like settling down, and your mind starts going off. And I was thinking about, I don't know, this is going to sound really corny and sentimental, but I was thinking about like everything and everyone I've encountered up until now. And I was thinking how grateful I am to everything and everyone, and how much I love everyone. Can you relate to that? I don't know, it's weird. Um I just find, although too much social interaction can be draining for me, I find people so fascinating. And I think it's so fascinating how, like, particular people made it into my experience. So, out of 7 billion plus people on the planet, like, how extraordinary is it for the people that have entered your experience to choose you, you know? And I think about it, like, I think about all the people who have caused pain, and people who have helped me to access elation. And I'm just so grateful to everyone. And when I say I love people, like, I truly mean it. How some people, and this is very foreign to me, they have a hard time saying I love you. Um I get it, it's probably ancestral imprinting, or um, you know, loop looping cycles over and over, or like a conditioned behavior. But for me, like, I have no problem telling people I love you. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds cliche, but I can actually look back on my life, and I can see people who could be perceived as enemies, people who could be perceived as good friends, and love them equally. And I know that's hard to believe, like, to some people, or it's hard for some people to conceive, but it's not even like, it's beyond like a romantic love. It's almost like a universal and platonic love that I feel towards everything and everyone. And it's weird. Like, I've I know, like, I've spent a lot of time feeling resentful or feeling angry about people that I thought abandoned me, but when I look at it from a different angle, I realize how essential it was for these people to abandon me or reject me or neglect me so that I could find myself, and discover myself, instead of um, just kind of being a really codependent person. They've actually abandoned me so that I could start looking towards myself, if that even makes sense. People who have mistreated me, they've actually, like, taught me how to create healthy boundaries, how to understand someone else's point of view, how to be more compassionate and kind and caring, and not only towards others, but ultimately myself. Because for most of my life, I feel like I've been neglecting myself and abandoning myself and mistreating myself, and having a really unhealthy relationship with myself. And these people were just kind of like showing me that I was practicing these habits. And when I realized that within myself, they exited my experience because they taught me what I needed to know, and it was time for them to move on. So I don't know, like, I just feel so much love towards people. Um, and like I said, I just find them fascinating because I just feel like they open different angles and avenues and dimensions of myself. And I'm not, I know like some people think that a lot of my videos are very, how do I say it? Self, could be self righteous. I don't know, however you want to perceive it, that's probably the angle that you're working on, but I just use these videos to know myself more. And I feel like when you know yourself more, you can know others more, and you can understand yourself more and understand others, and everything just becomes really clear, and everything just makes sense, if that even makes sense. Because I think we spent most of our life just so confused and baffled by everything, but I swear self-knowledge is the master key towards, I don't know, like wholeness, completeness, um, a higher state of being, a higher state of awareness, a higher state of like just being in this world, So, yeah, I mean, I feel like you can resonate with what I'm saying. Like, you just feel love towards everyone. It's not even like for me, it's not even like just people. Like, I just love like everything. Like, I respect life. I have like this huge respect and reverence for all life and the cycles and the seasons and, the moments of creation, the moments of destruction, because I've made peace with the fact that things need to fall apart in order for them to fall together, and that's just life, that's creation. And yeah, I guess I just wanted to express my gratitude, and it's weird. I've had conversations with people, and we've like talked about like, I guess, revenge. And some people are really, really still in a place or space or a perceived area of life where they seek revenge. And I don't really feel the need to seek revenge. I just feel like everything is, what it is. And I don't really feel any desire to, I don't know, like if somebody does something bad to me, I'm not gonna go out of my way to seek revenge. You know what I mean? It's really strange, and I think a lot of people find my way of seeing things really foreign. Like they're like, "Well, you wouldn't like, get back at someone for doing this," and I'm like, "No, not really." You know what I mean? Because it's like for me, it's like why waste energy putting more fuel in the fire or fighting fire with fire when you can just neutralize it with peace and harmony. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like you can't win if you're trying to, like, seek revenge on someone. I think a higher minded and a nobler person would seek the higher road. You know what I mean? And just kind of like understand how things are, how things operate, the nature of things, and just kind of allow things to unfold and destruct and reconstruct as needed. You know what I mean? It's like you need to like really be able to step out of your ego or the identity you've created in order to like really embrace this perspective, I feel. And I don't know. I just like feel so grateful, and I am very much like, I don't know, I feel so much love for everyone. On the same note, but not, I would go to these silent retreats, and it would last approximately 10 days. So 10 days of noble silence. And it's funny, you reach this like particular state of mind or state of consciousness where, like, I don't know, like, it's like a, you can't even put it in words really, but on our last day of Noble Silence, we would all meditate together collectively, and we would like send happiness and love and well being and peace to all beings. And it was powerful. Like, you could feel the energy in the room, and how collectively, as a meditation group, we just kind of harness all our energies and just kind of like focus it on sending that like high vibrational frequency out to all of creation. And it was just so like unreal, like out of this world. And every now and then, like when I sit by myself, I can kind of bring myself to that place, and then I can, send that energy out, Um, on another note, I was having a conversation with a friend the other night, and INFJs might think that we know better because we're older souls, and perhaps there's some truth to that, but from another angle, like, so me and my boyfriend are, the way I explain it so that the mind has a reference point and can understand better, I use it as like there's a scale of consciousness, and it goes from low vibrational to high vibrational. And I think because of all the work I've done, I feel like I vibrate on a higher frequency predominantly. My partner is vibrating on like a lower frequency in correlation to where I am. But if you were to kind of like change your angle or perspective, instead of seeing like a scale that goes like this, which is pretty one dimensional, look at it as a sphere. And you are an access point, and everyone in the world is an access point, right? And because we're all positioned in different um, places on this sphere, we're all seeing the same thing from different angles. We're all experiencing the same thing differently, but ultimately it's the same. And you won't be able to access this, like, this sphere on a holistic level unless you, like, make contact with the various people on various points. Do you understand? I don't know if I'm making sense. So, in regards to my relationship, I may like be here on the sphere, my partner might be here on the sphere, but then together we are collectively like sharing our points of view so that we can become more holistic. So it's not about being higher or lower. It's about being on different access point on the same sphere, sharing the data or energy, like, because energy is information, I feel. Different types of information, sharing the energy with one another so that we can become more holistic instead of like, viewing it from high and low. Just see it from varying access points, and together we collectively create this this whole entity. I don't even know if I'm making sense. Hey man. I'm tired. I'm running off of 2 hours of sleep, and it's time for me to go to bed soon. But I wanted to make this recording. I don't know why. Um, because I wanted to. That's all. Anyhow, if you learned something cool, if you didn't, that's cool too. Tomato, tomato. And I think everything is as you see it. So if you want to see beauty, find beauty. If you want to see happiness and peace, find it, and it's all within yourself. And you can also access the other various spectrums and degrees of things like anger and sadness and depression and chaos. You can access those things too. It just is very dependent on what you want to see. and what you want to be and what you want to experience in any moment. But ultimately, we are comprised of all of these things. So to crucify yourself for being one way or another is actually quite silly, when in actuality you are everything, you know? Just depends on what you want to experience and what you want to explore and what you want to experiment with and what you want to like understand, and then you access those various things within yourself in order to know it better, in order to know yourself better. All right. Blessings to one and all. Amen.